ASE certified technicians. Plus, they work with your insurance company, saving you time. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
J&J Truck and Auto Body, 100% guaranteed.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying your first home or maybe upgrading to a home that you will really love? Real estate is an important investment that you want to get right. I have been in the business of finding the right home for 15 years. To get started, contact me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044. Let's open the door to your new home and say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044.
So why do teenagers play high school sports?
My reason why is a sense of purpose.
My reason why is love for the game.
My reason why is to inspire others.
One reason student athletes seldom mention is to get an athletic scholarship. They know that only 2% of all high school athletes are awarded a sports scholarship, and most of those are worth far less than the cost of tuition. So, why do they play?
My reason why is commitment.
My reason why is friendship.
A sense of purpose, love for the game, to help others, friendship. There are lots of great reasons to play high school sports and to participate in other high school activities like cheerleading, debate, and music. Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City. This is the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are Fox Sports! And here's what you need to know.
Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes remains in concussion protocol. According to Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, Mahomes' status for Sunday still up in the air, as Reid says they'll just see how Mahomes does over the next couple of days. Buccaneers defensive tackle Vita Vea is being activated from IR. He could play Sunday at Green Bay. Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson asked fans today to cancel a march that was scheduled to take place in Houston, which was aimed to support the quarterback in his feud with the team, while the NFL Network says the relationship between Rams head coach Sean McVay and quarterback Jared Goff is, quote, not good, end quote. University of Tennessee fired head football coach Jeremy Pruitt with cause today, and Tennessee AD Philip Fulmer retired after 3 years at the position. Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields entering the NFL draft. NFL scouting combine will not take place in Indianapolis this year. Spurs beat the Blazers 125-104. I'm Dan Beyer.
It's time for the only live and local sports talk show in the Black Hills. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, live interviews, and local sports. Exclusively on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City. And streaming online right now at foxsportsrapidcity.com. From the biggest national names to the hottest local stories, welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Good Monday afternoon. Welcome in. It's always a great day in the Black Hills. Hope you had a nice weekend. Hope some of you are enjoying today off. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We are at it on a Monday. The Nate Brown Show is back from our downtown studio on Fox Sports Rapid City. Oh, I busted it out. If you're watching on the live in-studio camera, I busted it out. The Josh Allen jersey. The Josh Allen jersey. I don't bring it out very often because I get accused of not being a true Broncos fan if I break out the Josh Allen jersey, but I got the Buffalo Bills Josh Allen jersey. It's my guy. We're supporting him on a Monday, and I'll tell you, I'm excited about this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a jam-packed show today. Rapid City Sports Talk Show brought to you in part by Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center since 1976. They provide the expert care when it comes to orthopedic care, bone, joint, muscle care. Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, helping you stay in the game. Learn more at bhosc.com. Let's get started on a Monday. John Clayton's going to drop by. You're here, and we want to get you the best today. NFL insider John Clayton, Washington Post contributor. We'll break down the divisional round, preview the AFC-NFC championship. We'll get specific with a former Rookie of the Year in the NFL, a great defensive lineman, a Pro Bowler for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is Chiefs through and through. He's a Chiefs ambassador now, the former player for the Chiefs, Bill Moss. He's going to join us live from KC. Also, dip down to Denver. Doug Ottewell on the way, Mile High Sports. Some interesting things happening in Denver, no doubt. Criminal investigation underway. No details at all. No details at all, but Von Miller under investigation. And I want to get down to some details if we can. Doug Ottewell live from Mile High Sports, one of the best hosts on Fox Sports Rapid City. You hear him on the weekends. Arnie Spanier is going to join us tonight, Fox Sports Radio national host. And then we'll get the breakdown of how about a school that's somewhat small, and they're going to have to play a pretty big level of football against a lot bigger schools here with this classification in South Dakota. Sturgis, the Scoopers, they're going to have to play against much bigger Aberdeen, much bigger Watertown. What does that look like? Todd Palmer's the activities director for Sturgis. We'll talk to the Scooper AD on tap. Here on this Monday, let's throw out the number 720-1067, 720-1067. That's the Boss Pizza and Chicken Sports Line Live. Also, the Barron's Wilson text line. Barron's Wilson text line, 720-1067. Okay. Let's get started on this quarterback scenario, which I find interesting. I find it really interesting that we now have an NFL situation developing like we discussed last week in the same city, but in a different sport. Last week on this program, I can't remember which day, but we took a lot of calls, a lot of feedback over the Houston Rockets, James Harden, pushing his way out of Houston. I wasn't a fan of it at all. I said, I think this breaks down into a culture of sports, into college, into high school, and even youth, transferring over to this team and going over to that team. I think it damages the fabric of team cohesiveness, and it's about the team, not me. In our social media world of 2021, I guess, I almost messed up, 2021, it's about me, and it's just more and more. So I told you last week I didn't like the James Harden force play, and then he goes to Brooklyn and the whole thing, okay? Now we have the same type of scenario, and I find it so interesting. It's a similar scenario. Deshaun Watson, the great QB for the Houston Texans, is very unhappy with ownership, on looking for a new coach, on the upper management from the GM to the ownership, and how that whole situation plays out in the front office. Deshaun Watson's so upset. This is now becoming public knowledge over the weekend, and he's on the verge. People are saying, the report's saying, that Deshaun Watson's just may force his way out somehow, some way. And I just have to tell you today, in the world of sports, even in the world of sports media here on Fox Sports Rapid City, people are dealing with this so much differently than the James Harden bad behavior. I'm not in it for the team. And by the way, in Houston, they're dealing with it differently. The people of Houston were going to do a protest today for Deshaun Watson in support of Deshaun. He had to come out today and say, hey, let's not do that in the COVID mess we got going on. They wanted to do a protest, yet at the same time, James Harden's restaurant in Houston just getting hammered, right? He's getting ready to open a restaurant. Just a side story. Just getting hammered with bad reviews and just people so upset. So you tell me what the difference is. By the way, James Harden, unhappy with his situation in Houston, okay? And you can say, well, this guy's reason was this guy's reason is that. Deshaun Watson is unhappy with, hey, I wanted you guys to interview certain coaching candidates, and you didn't even do that. I want to be involved in how this organization moves forward, and he felt he was being left out. To me, it's still two athletes that wanted things to go their way and now are basically forcing a problem for the team, so then they have to do something about that, and then it puts the team in that spot, which Houston Rockets said, we're out, here's what we're going to try and do. What are the Houston Texans going to do? I just don't see the difference. I see, here's the NBA. We talk about it. People said, oh, NBA, a lot of these guys are spoiled. A lot of the basketball situation all the way from when you're young. And if you make the NBA, you've been told you are the man for so long that just get out of control. NFL, I said, is coming along the way. And there's been certain situations where the NFL is starting to go down that road. By the way, the contracts usually aren't as NBA friendly. The NFL ones, they're a little more team friendly for the most part. In the NBA, the players get a lot of guaranteed money, all of it guaranteed, big time contracts. NFL, not as much that way. Starting to get down that road, CBA starting to get down that road. And Deshaun Watson's contract, you take a look, it's a really player friendly. I mean, Houston has committed to Deshaun Watson like you wouldn't believe, and he's sitting here so upset today because things didn't go how he wanted them to go. There's a couple of questions to ask. One is, what's the difference between James Harden's breakup last week and Deshaun Watson's problem this week? What's the difference? And the other one is, would you go down the road of getting Deshaun Watson on your team if you're a guy like me? I'm a Broncos fan. We need a quarterback, a franchise changer. Would you make that happen? Would you make that happen? I mean, I think those are questions to be asked. I don't know necessarily what the answers are. I've thought about it because I was just sitting here thinking about this last night, this morning. As a Broncos fan, would I want to give away the farm to get a guy like Deshaun Watson, who we know can produce, who we know is a hard worker? We know Deshaun Watson, the product on the field, really high level. Would I want to give away the farm to pick up a guy like that, especially now with, he kind of didn't like how things went in Houston. Let's go to the phones. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Well, I'm not a Broncos fan, but if I am, there's three guys out there named Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton, and Jerry Jeudy that I think would just mesh real nice with a guy named Deshaun Watson.
I agree with that. I mean, I would give away the farm. I said that last night, and then I started thinking, should I?
Yes, yes, you should. That's simple as that. What you said, what was the difference? The difference is the NBA players do it all the time. They do it for whatever reason they want. Deshaun Watson, the management made basically a promise to him. You will be in on who we pick for general manager, coach, and etc. You're going to have a say. And then suddenly Nick Caserio comes open from the New England Patriots, and Patriots are known for 20 years of winning, and they decided to move on a guy without so much as a text or a phone call, apparently, to Deshaun Watson. You can't do that. You can't. You're going back in anything, whether it's sports, business, relationships. You go back on your word, you've done something wrong.
Yeah, I see that. Some people would say you shouldn't pull the worker like Deshaun Watson. He should be involved, but he shouldn't have final say in who you get, and that's where you run the possibility.
No,
who has more power?
But then the second thing, after their thing with the general manager, I guess he said he really liked the idea of Eric Bieniemy. The only one of the 6 teams, or I guess maybe 7, that are hiring a coach, the only ones that weren't interviewing Eric Bieniemy was the Houston Texans.
Yeah, at that point, yeah. Now they are. Now they are, but yeah.
Yeah, now they are because they've hurt his feelings. While we're on quarterbacks in the NFL,
yes,
you're Josh Allen.
Yes.
Are you going to be okay with it if the Bills make it because Patrick Mahomes can't play because he's got a concussion?
Well, I'm going to say this. Mahomes will play. I'm not a doctor, but Mahomes will play, and it's going to be dicey. Let me just say that. It'll be tough road for Josh Allen, but that's why I'm wearing my jersey today, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Well, I don't know. I'm not as sure that he plays. I think he probably will, because I don't think it didn't look. I never said there was no helmet to helmet.
No, they're gonna.
I thought it was more of a getting the neck twisted.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Suddenly
actually.
out.
You just mentioned that. That's what it was. It was a neck thing. Andy Reid said, "I think we're going to be okay," but obviously he's still in the protocol. I think he plays. I really do. They're going to find a way if it's the next scenario, and I hope he is. I want to see it. I want to see the high level, but I'd be okay with Josh Allen in the Super Bowl no matter what. Appreciate it.
I am too if it's against my Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, wow.
So that would be nice.
Appreciate it.
I actually would rather have it that way.
Thanks for getting in. Appreciate it. 720-1067 is our number. I have a question of the day today dealing with QBs. I have a question of the day dealing with the QBs that are left. And I want to go there since that last caller said that. And I got my Josh Allen jersey on. Let's see. Question of the day. I want you to respond. Who are you rooting for? Who are you rooting for to win the Super Bowl? Super Bowl 55. As we start this Monday, who are you rooting for? Which QB? Okay? This question of the day, I want to get to the latest answers because the results are surprising a little bit. One is the guy that's last is really surprising to me. Who are you rooting for to win Super Bowl 55? I'm talking QBs. So Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Such interesting stories, and you have the two legends against the two young guys. I just wonder, who are you rooting for? Now, I have followers on Twitter, South Dakota, Wyoming, some across the country, but kind of regionally here. So it's interesting. I'm surprised by the guy coming in last in our results so far. Let's take a call. Thanks for getting in today. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate, it's Jim. Thanks for taking my call.
Jim, I know who you're rooting for. Huh?
That's the easy one. It's the best quarterback in football, the MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
I know. Can he get it done? Or you've said the Packers can get it done. You're looking smart, even though you're a fan, Jim. You've said this is the year.
Yeah, it's the year. They're going to blow out Tampa Bay. I don't see that being a ball game.
Whoa.
Tampa Bay didn't look that good against New Orleans. Tom Brady completed about 50% of his passes.
Okay, you help me out now. Aaron Rodgers, so that's who you're rooting for. As a quarterback, okay, should my Denver Broncos give away the farm to get a guy like Deshaun Watson? And when I say give away the farm, I mean you're going to have to give up a lot. Would you do that?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No, the reason is I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to be that healthy for a long time. He's all like Lamar Jackson. He runs a lot. So I don't know how healthy he's going to be.
There's some mileage there. I mean, you know, he gets hit. He gets hit. There's no doubt. But he's still a pretty young guy. But you wouldn't give up the farm. I'm starting to think I would. Normally, I'm not crazy like that. Giving up draft picks, draft capital. The Broncos need to do something. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. Thanks for getting in.
I wouldn't give up on Drew Lock yet. Drew Lock still has a lot left in the tank.
All right. Easy for you to say. You've got Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. 720-1067. It's interesting. As I look at this scenario, really interesting. Same city, Houston. James Harden gets ridiculed, okay, because he doesn't think Houston's doing things right, getting the right players, running the show, okay. Deshaun Watson actually getting praised, and he's also very upset with Houston. Now, I know, well, I wanted to be involved in the GM, in the coaching search, and the whole thing. But how much involvement, and that's the fine line when you're running the show, that's the fine line of who makes the final call. And, well, if we don't choose Eric Bieniemy, for example, that's just one report, for example, if we don't choose Coach Bieniemy, are you going to be upset, Deshaun? Okay? That's the fine line. Was he going to be upset anyway if you didn't choose a guy that Deshaun Watson wanted? That's a tough line to walk, whether that's in NFL business or any business. Okay? You got to make hard decisions. Sometimes not everybody's going to be really happy with it. The QBs need to be careful not becoming bigger than the franchise. We tend to lean that way in sports. NBA stars have become bigger than the teams. Now you're wondering if that scenario can happen when you pay guys like Deshaun Watson, who thinks, I am the Houston Texans. I am the Houston Texans, and I should be involved in this and this and this. I'm not so sure. I go old school, and that's, people disagree with me on it. Going old school meaning the players, I think, should play, and yes, you need to hear their voice. You need to hear their voice. I can't make decisions on what players want because every player wants something different. I can't make decisions on what Deshaun Watson totally wants. You have to hear his voice. It's elevated. And it's interesting how that's played out. Over the past week in the same city, different sports, different of guys, okay, Deshaun Watson seems a little more likable, something about it. James Harden's kind of, people haven't liked James along the way. You tell me why. You tell me. I don't know. Let's see here. Listener text coming in. Nate, is the Josh Allen jersey you're wearing a Wyoming Cowboys jersey or a Buffalo Bills jersey? It is a Buffalo Bills Josh Allen jersey. It's the first jersey I purchased, I don't know in how long. I don't do jerseys. I did this one for fun, supporting my guy Josh Allen. Is that wrong? Are you trying to tell me? I had a buddy stop me today after lunch, said, that's wrong. You can't wear a Bills jersey, even though it's a Josh Allen jersey. I don't think so. I lost that guy. See if you want to get in. Couple more minutes, we'll get you on if you want to get in. 720-1067 as we get started on this Monday. So, see, I got people are trying to wonder, as a rabid Broncos fan, do I feel okay wearing my Josh Allen jersey into the studio today? Not only do I feel okay, I am uplifted today. I'm excited about coming in today. I put that Josh Allen jersey, and I went to lunch, showed my Broncos buddy. I said, look at this. Look at this. He said, what? You can't wear a Bills jersey. It's Josh Allen, that's what it is. The Broncos were, as far as I can tell, not in the playoffs last time I checked. So I'll give you my answer of the question of the day. Who are you rooting for most at QB to win Super Bowl 55? Here's the vote so far. 41% of you are with me, Josh Allen. 41% say Josh Allen. 27% of you voting Tom Brady. Can you tell me why? How does that happen? How does Tom Brady become second most cheered for QB in the championships coming up this weekend? I'm just mystified by that. Josh Allen won. Tom Brady, 27% of you say Tom Brady. 18% of you say Aaron Rodgers. 14% of you rooting for Patrick Mahomes. We've fallen out of love with Showtime Mahomes that quickly? Kansas City Chiefs fans? I thought you guys were lined up on the bandwagon was around the street. This is around the corner. And 14% of you, the last guy getting rooted for in the championship Sunday is Patrick Mahomes at this point. Interesting. Well, fun start to a Monday show. We'll get after it today. Bill Moss is coming up. He's a Kansas City Chiefs ambassador, former defensive lineman, Pro Bowler for the Chiefs. Bill Moss on the way. Can the Chiefs win back-to-back? How do I feel about my prediction that they would not win back-to-back? Well, they're closer than I had hoped, let me tell you. Bill Moss coming up. First, John Clayton. He's next. NFL Insider, the original. John Clayton on the way.
You're listening to the only live and local sports talk show in the Black Hills. The Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports RapidCity.com and live on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Finally, goodbye 2020. There was one good thing about 2020. That was the prices. And this is your last chance to get last year's prices at Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota. That's 20% off every window and door. Plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Only at Renewal by Anderson. But hurry, because 2020 pricing is only available until February 15th. Book your free estimate today. Call Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota at 605-219-8111.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A winter weather advisory continues until 5 p.m. this evening. Partly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 24. Northwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Daytime highs approaching 40. Tomorrow, mainly clear skies and quiet. Mainly clear skies and quiet again. Tomorrow night, lows dip down to about 23. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 28.
Hi, this is Rihanna Wickett with Elevate Performance. We want you to know that not all physical therapy is the same. So when you need care, choose a team that delivers the best results. At Elevate Performance, you will receive one-on-one care with a doctor of physical therapy. We won't shuffle you in and shuffle you out. We are currently seeing new patients from youth athletes to grandparents. At Elevate Performance, we help you live life to the fullest by fusing healthcare and fitness. Come and experience personalized care and physical therapy unlike any other at Elevate Performance, your movement doctor. Online at elevateperformancesd.com.
Boss Pizza and Chicken know that sometimes you just need some awesome comfort food. And right now, Boss is taking things seriously in how they're serving their great pizza and roasted chicken with their new no-contact delivery. Just ask when you call in your order, and they'll leave your pizza right on your doorstep. Nobody has the selection of pizza like Boss Pizza and Chicken. Take the day off from cooking and get the good stuff from Boss. Order online at bosspizzaandchicken.com or call 399-BOSS. That's 399-BOSS.
Dave always wore the same gray shirt to work every day. Monday through Friday, gray, gray, gray. Then one day, Dave decided to switch things up and wear that Hawaiian shirt his mother gave him. And that's when Wendy in accounting took notice. You can make a difference when you switch things up too. Switch and save an average of $536 by calling your local State Farm agent today.
To switch and save on your auto insurance, call State Farm agent Matt McCormick in Rapid City.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in. Happy MLK Day. One of my favorite quotes from him. What are you doing for others? What are you doing for others? Think about that one. I did today. We'll try and get after it. Start your work week the right way. Hope you're winning the day. The Nate Brown Show back on Fox Sports Rapid City. Bill Moss is coming up, former Kansas City Chiefs Rookie of the Year. How about that? Pro Bowler for the Chiefs, couple of years. Bill Moss, now a Kansas City Chiefs ambassador. I let a Kansas City Chiefs ambassador on this program where I'm a known Broncos homer. It just shows to show you I'm fair. I'm right down the middle, right down Broadway, right? Bill Moss coming up. Great to have him on, talking Chiefs, Bills straight ahead. Let's go to John Clayton, NFL Insider, the original NFL Insider contributor, WashingtonPost.com, on Twitter at John Clayton NFL, and he's back here on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. John, how are you today?
Good, Nate. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate your time. Let me ask you, before we get into some of the coaches, some of the divisional round stuff, I want to start with Deshaun Watson's scenario in Houston. He feels disrespected, it looks like. Reports are he's very upset. How do you think this ends there for Watson and the Texans?
It's going to be tough because they have the no-trade clause in his contract. I'm sure that he'll continue to push to try to get a trade because the organization is about as messy as we've seen in football in years. I mean, this thing is a complete mess. There's not a lot of trust in the organization, and particularly the way it's run. And I'm not talking about Nick Caserio or anything of that nature, but it's just, from the ownership on down, it's bad. And he recognizes that. And the fact that they reached out to him and said, okay, we're going to keep you in the loop on the coach and the general manager. They didn't do it. Now they're trying to do it, but it may be too late. But the problem is there's such a limited amount of teams that could even find a way, even though they're calling, and they got to try to call because he's one of the 6 best quarterbacks in the league. But to make a trade that makes any sense to Houston, you've got to come up with the equivalent of 3 first-round picks and a couple other picks. And other than, say, the Jets, maybe, and then Jacksonville's not going to do it. They're not going to trade anything to Jacksonville. I don't know of any other team that can put something together.
So I'm a Broncos fan, John, and I always say, okay, should the Broncos give away the farm to get Deshaun Watson? Is that just up in the clouds thinking?
I think so, yeah, because do they have enough to give up? I mean, sure, if you give up the equivalent of 3 first-round picks, what are you going to be able to have around Deshaun Watson? Because I think what you're seeing and he's seeing is that he has hardly anything on defense other than J.J. Watt, and that's one of the things. He's in a position on offense. They have talent, but he almost has to score 30 points a week just to be able to stay competitive. So if you're going to be making a trade like that, it's going to be so one-sided in the sense that they won't have the offensive linemen to be able to block for him. They won't be able to maintain the receivers to catch for him, and they're going to take a bigger hit on defense and then almost be very much like Houston.
I'll tell you, the situation in Houston is ugly. It's dicey for that organization. Deshaun Watson, they paid him well. This is a great contract. He's a competitor. But the thing is, he wanted to be involved right in the coaching search. And how much should players like that, the face of the franchise, be involved, John?
Well, I mean, if it's like, for example, Russell Wilson's trying to do the same thing on the hiring of an offensive coordinator. I think if you have a quarterback that good and he's that good, you need to keep him in the loop. Be the same thing, if you were Indianapolis back in the day when you had Peyton Manning at quarterback. When you have a great one, you want to make sure there's going to be the right fit. And you can see the troubles that have happened here in the last year. I mean, Bill O'Brien, as good as he is as a play caller and a coach, he was kind of tough to work with. But, Deshaun was very loyal to him, and I would imagine he would have remained that way. But then all of a sudden, when Bill started trading, DeAndre Hopkins and, picking up four receivers on the roster that were making a combined $44 million a year, you can see it was all falling apart. And every move that they made to help the offense hurt so much because the defense got worse. They had to let defensive players go. So, but I think if you're a guy that's as good as Deshaun Watson, you need to be somewhat in the loop. You're not making the pick if you're the quarterback, but at least you have to have a comfort level because whatever they bring in, you've got to work with.
John Clayton on today, NFL Insider, WashingtonPost.com contributor. Let's go to some coaching hires. Were you surprised by Brandon Staley? Not a lot of experience, and he's the new man for the Chargers.
The only thing that was a surprise was that the general manager, Tom Telesco, didn't wait for Brian Daboll to see if he's going to go to the Super Bowl or not going to go to the Super Bowl. And the reason for that is that Tom Telesco and Brian Daboll went to the same high school, played on the same high school team. Telesco is 2 years behind Daboll, and so there's a great comfort level there. But I think with the idea, what they're worried about is that if they waited a week and all of a sudden Buffalo wins, then you're not going to be able to get a coaching staff together. Sure, you'd have the right play caller for Justin Herbert, and so now by making the move for Brandon Staley, they have an opportunity to go out and try to find the right coordinator, or in the case of the Chargers, maybe keep their current offensive coordinator to call the plays after a very successful season for what I think is going to be the Rookie of the Year.
Speaking of the Bills, Daboll may not get a job. I don't know. Is Leslie Frazier going to get that Houston job?
Could. I mean, could be him, could be Jim Caldwell. I mean, those are all possibilities. The question is now, it's almost the same thing on Daboll. Can you wait? Houston has obviously no choice because I don't think anybody really wants that job. I mean, Leslie would definitely take it and be a very good choice for them. But now the question is going to be, what's he going to be able to do on the offensive side of the ball? Because you can get a good coach in Leslie Frazier, but if you don't get a good offensive coach and play caller for Deshaun Watson, then things are only going to get worse.
How do you evaluate the hire for the Jets, Robert Saleh?
Love it. I think it's a great one because I think he's a good players coach. I think he's a good CEO type of coach. He's going to be able to, with all the cap room they have, help recruit players, which I think is going to be good. And so I've watched him grow since he was in Seattle with Pete Carroll, and I watched him grow that much more when he went to the 49ers as a defensive coach and then a coordinator. So, no, I think that was a great hire for them.
Before I let him run, John Clayton on NFL Insider. Quick preview of the AFC and NFC championships here. Let's start Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Is this a really tough road for the Buccaneers in Green Bay?
Yeah, it really is. And the interesting thing is that yesterday Tampa Bay was in man defense the entire game against New Orleans and completely shut down Drew Brees and the Saints offense. Now the question is, can they stay in that same man-to-man defense going against Aaron Rodgers, knowing that Aaron then would have the ability to run a little bit outside, and because they're going to be blitzing a lot, and are they going to be able to have the right coverage, particularly against Devontae Adams, who's just been so good catching the ball, 20 catches in the or at least yesterday had the real good playoff game. And so it didn't have a lot of yards, but he had 9 catches. But I think that Aaron has the advantage. He's at home. Tom Brady's going to be interesting to see if they do indeed try to run the ball as they did last year, because they're a 40-60 run-to-pass team this past year, and they were 28th in the league in rushing, 29th as far as percentage of rushing. But yesterday they were pretty even. They had 35 rushes and 34 pass plays. So we'll see if they go in there, particularly with weather not being good, 1 to 3 inches of snow, temperatures in the 20s.
And you've got Josh Allen against the Chiefs. I say Patrick Mahomes, I think. How good do you think chances are he will play?
I think they're pretty good because he's in concussion protocol, and he also has a little bit of a neck injury too. But he tweeted out that he was going to be okay. But I think he's going to be there. But I don't think he's going to be able to perform as well because remember he also has that toe injury that affected him early in the game. The big thing for Buffalo, can they go in there and pass the ball more than 60% of the time, where they're going to have kind of wet conditions, temperatures in the 20s, and do as well as they have in the 2 home games that they have. Taking it on the road with a young quarterback, that can be tough, but it's worked out great so far for Josh Allen and the Bills, particularly with the 2 home wins.
Do you think that game's close, John?
I think so, yeah. Well, I mean, you look at it from most standpoints. I mean, Kansas City plays close games, whether it's going to be ones where they come back, ones where they are leading. But I can't envision this being a blowout unless Josh Allen goes in there passing too much and making too many turnovers.
John Clayton, NFL Insider on Twitter at John Clayton NFL. A follow there for you, and WashingtonPost.com. You can read his stuff as well. John, always great. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Nate. Thanks. Appreciate
it. John Clayton on tonight on Fox Sports Rapid City, one of our favorites, the original NFL Insider. He's outstanding. I mean, it's, when I started talking to John and saying, hey, love to work with you, get you on the show, this is a guy I watched all the time on ESPN. I mean, I watched him all the time, and then we get him, usually try and get him every week if we can. Good stuff to start your week on a Monday here with John Clayton, NFL Insider on the Nate Brown Show. So he doesn't make predictions too much. He's just an analyst, breaking things down. He talked about the Bills-Chiefs scenario, and I have to shed some light on this. The Bills beat the Ravens, 17-3. The offense for the Bills, I'll tell you, I'm wearing my Josh Allen jersey, wasn't great. Misfired on a lot of long throws. Got it done enough, right? But here's the one thing people aren't pointing out. Everybody likes to say, well, there's some flaws here with this Bills team. They can't run it, things like that. Their secondary a little bit questionable sometimes, and I would agree with that. However, Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator, who's up for, I think, some of these head coaching jobs. I don't know if he's going to get one. It's maybe not looking as good as it did. Brian Daboll did not call one rushing play in the entire first half Saturday night. How do you get away with that? And then their reaction today is, well, they got some flaws. And people were telling me, I pointed this out over the weekend on Twitter. I said, the Bills didn't run one rushing play in the entire first half. And you just heard John. He's like, well, they're probably going to pass it over 60% of the time. Yeah, they did it 100% of the time in the first half. And people are wondering, I don't know how you get away with that. I really don't. Just let's do one designed quarterback run with Josh Allen. He's 6'5", 245. Okay? Just maybe try that next time in the first half, and then maybe the game's not quite as tight. Bills end up winning 17-3, but just remember that Saturday night. So I'm not as concerned about, the Bills, they can't run it. They don't even try. Brian Daboll's got to put a plan together better than that. I will tell you that. Okay? So I'm rooting for Josh Allen and the Bills. That's my dog in the fight here and dog in the hunt. But I'm going to tell you, put a better plan together. That's a bad plan. Because when they did run it, opening drive of the third quarter, mixed in 4 runs. Wow, it was a touchdown scoring drive. It's interesting how that works. You kind of run it, make the defense be honest. I know it's personnel. You look at the personnel. You can't pass it every time. I thought that was unreal. If I'm a Broncos fan, if the Broncos did something like that, that's an embarrassment. You pass it 100% of the time in a first half of an NFL game. This isn't the indoor football league. Coming right back with Bill Moss, former Kansas City Chiefs Pro Bowl defensive lineman. He's now a Kansas City Chiefs ambassador. What does he think of his team's chances to win back-to-back? I said it at the start of this year, all the way back to the beginning. The Chiefs aren't going to win back-to-back. Am I going to be wrong? We'll talk to Bill Moss about Mahomes and more next.
Your sports, your show. This is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires and the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Tire, and it's an amazing tire for South Dakota.
So you get a winter performance tire and you can leave it on all year long?
You got it. These stop over 30 feet shorter in the winter weather than a typical all-season radial. Stop in or call and we'll go over all of the remote start and Toyo tire options available, and we'll do it with the best prices in the area.
Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail, the #1 place to trust for everything automotive. AnytimeAnytime.com or at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales. With all this newfound time at home, it's good to get an easy win for the whole family. So this month, we're turning Taco Tuesday into Taco Tuesday. Get our 6-pack and a pound. That's 6 savory beef tacos and a pound of crispy potato olays for $2 off any day of the week. Taco John's. See you in the drive-thru.
Our drive-thru is open. Swing by for all your Taco John's favorites for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or order delivery from participating locations with the Taco John's app.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in Rapid City Sports Talk Show. How you doing? Hopefully good. Starting the work week off for some. I hope you had today off. If you had a day off, great. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Your sports, your show. Bill Moss, we've had him on before. I wanted to reach out. It's AFC Championship time. Back-to-back years for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a Kansas City Chiefs ambassador, former Pro Bowler, Rookie of the Year. D lineman for the Chiefs back in the good old days, the tough days, right? Bill Moss joins us on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Bill, thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm doing great, Nate, but I have to correct you.
Oh.
It's back to back to back.
Ah, yes.
That AFC Championship games.
That is right. That is right. I remember that. I was rooting for those Chiefs a couple of years ago against the Patriots, and we all know how that turned out.
Do you know the common denominator in that? The only other team that did that was the Philadelphia Eagles under Andy Reid.
That's a good nugget. That's a great nugget. Let me ask you about this team. Let's get into things first. Big question is, Mahomes got injured. Does everybody feel good about his health this week?
Well, yeah, I think so. Look, the last thing the NFL wants to do on AFC Championship weekend is tout Josh Allen versus Chad Henne. So I think the concussion protocol will go as need be.
Yeah, and I look at this, I say, were the Chiefs in control yesterday before that? Did you like the way that game was going?
I got to tell you, I thought that one big play before the half really took a lot of the air out of the sails of Cleveland. You know, I've been on teams like that when you haven't been to the playoffs in a long time. under Marty Schottenheimer. We'd get to the playoffs, and it was one step a year. Once you got to the playoffs, you were there. You knew it. We got the wild card. Then we got to the divisional. Then we got to the AFC Championship. So it's a progression kind of thing. And for Cleveland, who's been dormant for quite some time, they got a little something going now. They feel good about themselves. They beat Pittsburgh, and now they're ready to step on that stage. But when a couple things go wrong, they're like, same old, same old. And that's how you feel as a team. And so, yeah, that play was a big deal in my opinion, because had they made that touchdown going into the half, I think, especially after the injury to Mahomes, it may have been a different outcome.
Yeah, I wonder about that. You're talking about the fumble through the back of the end zone, Bill Moss on former Kansas City Chiefs D lineman. So on the defensive side, you may be surprised my answer to this, but I'm going to ask you, fumble through the back of the end zone. Everybody's complaining today that that's a terrible rule, that's a touchback. Where do you stand?
Yeah, if you go back through history and look at all the rule changes, and most of them have come via the Oakland Raiders, like the fumble-rooski and things like that. Anything else, if you fumble in the field of play, it goes back to the spot of the fumble. And so why, when you get to the end zone, if it fumbles and goes out of the end zone, does it become the other team's ball at the 20? That's a tough one. And look, I was happy that it happened for the Chiefs. That was great. But, if the Chiefs were on the other side of it, we'd all here in Kansas City be denouncing it.
Yeah, interesting. I'm trying to stick up for the defensive side, saying, hey, that was a heck of a play, and it's a bang-bang goal line. You got to cross the goal line. So let's not punish the defense anymore. It's tough enough on the defense. Let's give them an advantage every now and then for making a heck of a play.
No, hey, you're spot on about that topic. Yeah, I mean, the game is offensive-oriented right now. All the rules and everything that goes with it are geared towards high scoring, passing the football. It's the old AFL is what it is. The NFL is now the old AFL. But, I get your point. Help the defense out a little bit. Dan Sorensen, his effort on that play was just, they deserve to get it back just because of the effort, right?
That was huge. Bill Moss on tonight. Appreciate his time. Kansas City Chiefs ambassador talking Chiefs, Bills. I'll get to there, but I want to get to your coaching staff. You talk about Andy Reid and all the great things he's doing. Coach Bieniemy, is he going to end up somewhere as a head coach, do you think, this year?
First of all, I know Eric personally, and I'm telling you, when it comes to coaching, this guy, I've been around a lot of coaches. I've interviewed and talked to a lot of coaches. This guy he's up there. I would put him up there with like Mike Tomlin when Mike Tomlin was the defensive coordinator for the Vikings. He's in that kind of category of how he relates to the people, his players, how he is he's a teacher by nature, smart guy, can get along with everybody. It doesn't matter race, religion, economic background, doesn't matter. I mean, he's been through all that. He's seen all that. His experience is phenomenal. But I don't know. I don't know if him leaving the offensive coordinator position. Look, if you take a job to any one of these teams that doesn't have the ownership, involvement, and dedication that is here in Kansas City, where are you going? Mm-hmm. You're going for what, a 4-year deal someplace and then get fired because you don't have any help? Because you're there by yourself and you get a big paycheck for 4 years and you're by yourself? Life-wise, I'm just saying, on your career course,
yep,
you need the stability of good ownership. And the teams that are out there right now that are looking for head coaches, I don't know if they have that.
That's fair. There's no doubt. Great situation in Kansas City. Bieniemy and Reed back in the AFC Championship. So let's talk about the matchup. What do you see, Bill? You look over there. The Bills come in. I'm a big Josh Allen fan. I followed his career at Wyoming right next door. What do you think about facing the Bills?
I've watched them over the last 2 years, and I love what I'm seeing with them. Honestly, guys. And the kid, Josh Allen has a whip like no other. He's got an arm that people, their jaws drop over. Now, Mahomes is a different kind of player, completely different. Josh's size and the way he can throw the ball, it's really exciting. I would compare him to a 1984 Dan Marino, where nobody saw an arm like that before in the NFL. Nobody. And that's who Allen is right now. And his progress over the last 2 years has been incredible. And I think that's all about the coaching. So hats off to Sean and his crew. They've got a run game going. They've got a good defense. They can pose problems. But I don't think they're at the stage right now where they can come into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs.
I was wondering, how much caution is there? I mean, you're a Chiefs guy. You're saying, we got the Bills. I felt like, we have the Browns. We'll be fine. And then you ramp it up to this level. It's the Bills. I don't think I'm hearing we'll be fine, but I think we're okay. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Look, there was an injury to the foot to Patrick Mahomes last week prior to him going out with a head injury or whatever it may be. So if something were to occur again, the Chiefs aren't winning this game without Patrick Mahomes, okay?
Right.
If Patrick Mahomes goes out and it's Josh Allen versus Chad Henne, no, that's not going to happen. But if Patrick Mahomes is fine, Chiefs win the game.
I'll let you run with this. You're on a defensive unit. Josh Allen on the Bills, they didn't get one rushing play in the entire first half called in. There wasn't one rushing play in the entire first half against the Ravens. I don't know how that happens. What do you think on a defense when you're on the defensive line and there's not one rushing play? What goes through your mind when they keep on dropping back?
One thing and one thing only. I mean, my ass is going to be high in the air. My head's going to be down on the ground in my 3-point stance, and it's a sprinter stance. I'm rushing the quarterback.
Yeah, I just thought that was crazy, Bill. I mean, that's what happened on Saturday night.
Yeah, and so for whatever reason they felt good enough about their quarterback, and they have enough confidence in their quarterback to do that. When teams come out and say like, "Well, we're gonna try to run the ball and play action," do you know what that tells me? They don't have confidence in their quarterback. So this is going to be a wild game here come Sunday. If the Bills believe in Allen that much, and I know what Andy thinks about Mahomes.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. You said it, wild. Mahomes against Allen, the two gunslingers, and then on the other side, Rodgers against Brady. Who do you like there, Bill? Really quick.
I would have to say the way Aaron's played this year and the Green Bay Packers have played this year, their offensive line, their running game, I like it, and they're home for whatever that means in today's COVID year. But I just see a Super Bowl I being revisited again.
Interesting. Great stuff. Bill Moss, Kansas City Chiefs ambassador. He's been a great one here on the program. Former Pro Bowler for the Chiefs. Chiefs against the Bills, and my guy Josh Allen. It's going to be fun. Bill, thanks a lot. I always appreciate your time.
Absolutely, Nate. Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it. We try and get him on when the Chiefs are rolling, and appreciate his time. Bill Moss, former broadcaster and former Rookie of the Year for for the Kansas City Chiefs back in the 80s. Pro Bowler a couple of times for the Chiefs. Big defensive lineman Bill Moss here on the Nate Brown Show. That's interesting. He's going Green Bay and, of course, the Chiefs. So he's going Green Bay and the Chiefs. What does Vegas say today? Who is the favorite to win the Super Bowl today? Did you take a look? It is the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the favorite still. Green Bay second. The Bills third. And the Buccaneers fourth. So Buccaneers are 4-1. 4-1 to win. That's fourth in line. And you look at it, he went with Green Bay, said, I'm just going to go with the Packers. They're at home. I don't know what that means in the COVID years. Well, what it means is it's going to be cold for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers from Florida. I mean, I think that makes a pretty big difference. I don't know the exact forecast in Green Bay. We'll break that down as we get closer. I didn't throw out who I'm picking yet. I'm not going to do that yet. What I've asked you in a question of the day is which QB are you most rooting for to win Super Bowl 55? Question of the day, 720-1067. Hit us up on the Barron's Wilson text line this Monday. Chance to win lunch or dinner from Zamerik's Noodle Cafe on West Main in Rapid City. We'll get you a free gift card to Zamerik's Noodle Cafe. I had a nice lunch from Zamerik's today. Which QB are you most rooting for to win Super Bowl 55? Out of the four guys left, I just wanted to see who's the popular guy that we're rooting for to win this year. 40% of you going with Josh Allen. I like that. I like that. I'm wearing the Josh Allen jersey. I'm feeling good today. 40% of you, Josh Allen. 28% say Tom Brady still. I'm just perplexed by that. Are there more Tom Brady fans out there than I realize? I'm sorry. I haven't been a Tom Brady. I'm not a Tom Brady fan. I respect Tom Brady. I really respect him. I'm not like, you couldn't call me a hater. But if you're trying to tell me it's Mahomes against Brady and you're rooting for Brady, I'm a Broncos fan and I would be rooting for Mahomes. How does that work? So 40% Josh Allen. You're not saying who's going to win, who you're rooting for. 40% saying Josh Allen, 28% Tom Brady, 17% of you say Aaron Rodgers, 14% of you voting for Patrick Mahomes as who you're rooting for. What has Patrick done to you guys? I thought it was Showtime Mahomes. Popular kid, great player, humble. I mean, he seems like the prototypical guy we'd be rooting for. 14% of you rooting for Mahomes. Maybe there's just enough Chiefs haters out there. I don't know. Coming right back, let's go to Denver. Talk to Doug Ottewell, Mile High Sports, live from Denver. Would there even be a consideration for the Broncos trying to go after Deshaun Watson? Would you even consider it if you're the new general manager, George Paton? What does Doug Ottewell say from Denver? He's next.
The Nate Brown Show.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A winter weather advisory continues until 5 p.m. this evening. Partly cloudy skies tonight with a low of 24. Northwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Daytime highs approaching 40 tomorrow. Mainly clear skies and quiet. Mainly clear skies and quiet again tomorrow night. Lows dip down to about 23. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 28.
Rush Hockey is back this weekend. On Friday night, the Rush take on the Utah Grizzlies at 7:05. Then on Saturday night, the Rush will pay homage to the state sport of South Dakota with Rodeo Night. We will recognize current and past champions as well as top-ranked cowboys, cowgirls, and rodeo queens from South Dakota. Players will wear specialty jerseys that will be auctioned off Saturday night. A portion of the proceeds will go to the Black Hills Stock Show Foundation. Special rodeo hat trick ticket packages are on sale now. Tickets are at RapidCityRush.com.
Welcome to Danny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet, the home of the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in the area, with a new inventory arriving daily. But that's not all. Let me show you. Meet our fast and friendly finance officers, who will take you through the purchase process quickly and who work with a large number of local and national lenders. Here at Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet, we pride ourselves on our customer-centric approach, and we strive to provide you, our customer, with a 5-star experience every time. We'll see you soon here at Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet in Rapid City.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
This is a scam alert. Consumers across the state are receiving false bills, emails, and phone calls claiming to be Amazon. The bill looks very legitimate. The emails are phishing for information, and the caller indicates purchases were made under your information and they're calling to confirm the purchase. Amazon will not call you. If you received any of these types of communications, please do not act on them. Contact the Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 1-800-300-1986. Don't get scammed.
Have you suffered an injury, or maybe you're experiencing pain that just won't get better? There's an expert team of physicians right here in Rapid City ready to help you get back in the game. The Rehab Doctors. They're the official sports medicine physicians of the Rapid City Rush, and they're the team that wants to help you get back on track. You have a choice for your medical care, and there's no referral necessary. For pain relief without surgery, take the first step to feeling better. Just go to therehabdoctors.com.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in Rapid City Sports Talk Show. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to you. Hope you're not working too hard today. We're here on Fox Sports Rapid City, your sports, your show, the Nate Brown Show live. Coming up, Arnie Spanier. He's one of the wild guys you hear on the weekends. He does a great job. Arnie Spanier here on Fox Sports Radio, the national host you hear on Saturday and Sunday. He's going to join us this Monday. We'll break down AFC, NFC Championship, and more. Arnie Spanier on tap. Thanks for watching the show on YouTube if you're doing that. Appreciate it. Search Nate Brown Show. You can watch us on YouTube. Also find us on Twitter, live video stream at Nate Brown Show. On Twitter, at Nate Brown Show on your phone, tablet. Follow us on Twitter and watch the live video stream, and you would enjoy my Josh Allen jersey. Oh, yes, the Josh Allen jersey coming out of the closet. We don't do it very often. It's got to be special occasion, okay? AFC Championship for the Wyoming Cowboys quarterback, so I'll take it. It's out of the closet. It's into the studio today, the Josh Allen jersey. And our question of the day, I wanted to know, who are you rooting for to win Super Bowl 55, meaning which QB? So I guess that would tell me which team, but I wanted to go to the individual star power here, the young guys, the old guys. There's some big names on the stage Sunday. Who are you rooting for right now to win Super Bowl 55? And the latest results here, I want to make sure we have this right. Let's see, update it. 41% of you say Josh Allen. 41%. 28% rooting for Tom Brady. We got a couple of votes on the Barron's Wilson text line just now for Tom Brady. Wow. I'm surprised at the support. I got to say, well, we got our local Buccaneers fan, one of our favorites. He texts in. So I get you. I got you. You're a Buccaneers guy. I get that. You don't find very many Bucs fans in South Dakota, okay? So that's number one. I'm surprised Tom Brady getting 28% of the vote behind Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes coming in last at 13% of the vote now. Let us know. Let's get in our next guest, Doug Ottewell, MileHighSports.com, Mile High Sports in Denver. Doug Ottewell back on the Nate Brown Show. Doug, how are you?
I'm good. That's an interesting tally you got going there. People really don't like Mahomes, huh?
No, it's weird. I thought Mahomes was likable, really kind of the face of the NFL or the new face. 13% of the audience today so far in the first hour of the show says they're rooting for him, so he comes in last. That just stuns me. I don't know if it's Broncos fans that don't like the Chiefs. Who would get your vote, Doug? Who would get your vote? You're a Broncos guy, so we don't like the Chiefs, but it's hard for me to really dislike Mahomes. I'm not a Brady fan. I am a Josh Allen guy, but who gets your vote?
Yeah, to me, it's a toss-up between Josh Allen and Mahomes. Those two guys, I know I'm a Broncos guy, and it's sacrilege to pull for the Chiefs, but I just like Mahomes. I like watching him. And for Josh Allen, I mean, I like him too, and he's right up the road here from Wyoming, so kind of hard not to pull for someone, that's a neighbor, really.
Yes, absolutely. And Josh Allen getting 41%, Aaron Rodgers getting 17% of the vote. So I want to talk QBs with you. I just want to see if this is even feasible. Something tells me it's not, but it's been thrown around. Broncos, new GM, George Paton. Would he ever even consider about putting a big splash together for the disgruntled Deshaun Watson?
I mean, I think if you're George Paton, you do everything you possibly can to try to do that. I say that with a big caveat, though. I don't know what the Broncos have that the Texans would want. I mean, other than draft picks, and I get, the Broncos could get as aggressive as, in theory, as aggressive as they want with draft picks. But, I don't know enough about George Paton or his drafting style to know that, if he's the guy that wants to pull off the Herschel Walker type trade, if he's on the Minnesota side or the Dallas side.
Yeah.
I think that, you've seen how those trades can go. I mean, that was basically the way that the Dallas Cowboys run of the 90s was formed, was that one big splash trade. So I think there's precedence out there that you don't throw every draft pick you can see in the future towards one trade. However, the Broncos are in this weird place because they have, they've been on a treadmill without a quarterback for so long. Well, in our world, so long, because we're spoiled by the likes of Elway and Manning, and even a Plummer here and there. But they're clamoring for a good quarterback, and I think, as the season sort of fades, people are less and less all in on Drew Lock. I mean, I don't think anybody's all in on him anymore. So a quarterback of that caliber seems really appealing, and if you want to win the court of public appeal into George Paton, you do everything you can do to get Deshaun Watson here.
See, and that's what I'm wondering. I mean, I was thinking about this last night. I've thought about it today, and I said, okay, Deshaun Watson's very upset in Houston. I don't love that he's kind of, put on a pretty big show here publicly, and I get the organization he feels is poor, and they're doing things poorly. They've given him a big contract, heavily invested in him. So I kind of looked at that, but I said, would I give away the farm? Like, literally, would I give away the farm for Deshaun Watson? Could he turn the Broncos' fortunes around? Something tells me maybe. I mean, I think you might be willing to do that. Bradley Chubb and whoever else.
The case you can make for giving up a lot of future draft picks is that the core of this team, especially offensively, is very young. So
right.
You've got Cortland Sutton, you've got Jerry Jeudy, you've got Philip Lindsay. I guess you throw him in the core.
Hamler,
definitely in the core. Noah Fant, Garrett Bowles, Dalton Reisner. I mean, and Cushenberry. I mean, basically the middle and the left of your line is really young. So I think that you don't necessarily maybe need those draft picks as much as an aging team might. But the defense has some issues, especially if they're going to part ways with Von Miller. But if they do that, if this whole legal thing happens and it sort of gives them the out on Von Miller, they've got a lot of money to spend too. So, whether that's on Deshaun Watson's contract or whether it's bringing in some solid free agents defensively. And look, Vic Fangio is a great defensive asset. So, maybe you look at it and say, yeah, he's going to want some really good players on defense. But I also think Vic Fangio got a lot out of a little this year, considering all the injuries on defense.
Yeah. Doug Ottewell on Mile High Sports live from Denver. Would the Broncos ever consider making a run for Deshaun Watson? I really think it's doubtful, but it has to be considered, I would think, where the Broncos are at. What do you think George Paton is ultimately going to do? You just wrote a piece here that thought maybe you should go this route. You wrote a piece. I saw this. Broncos have the 9th pick, okay? Maybe you go with Patrick Surtain the 2nd, corner from Alabama, great shutdown guy for the defense. And then you can get Mac Jones, the Alabama quarterback, fairly late because he's going to drop. You believe that?
Yeah, I do. And the more I think about Mac Jones, for starters, Patrick Surtain is an excellent player. I mean, he's got all the things you want for a ready-made NFL cornerback. So I think at number 9, you got a really good shot, and there's really no reason not to take him, especially considering some of the Broncos' needs. But then I think if you're saying, we're not really comfortable with Drew Lock as our sole option, we'd really like to have, something to, I don't want to say fall back on, but something to provide some bigger upside. I think you look at a guy like Mac Jones because he's a guy, and I mean, the narrative, it's a weird season with college football this year just because there were so few games. The narrative all year was Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and maybe the kid from BYU. But, no one was talking about Mac Jones. And I think guys at Alabama get lost in the shuffle with all that talent down there. And it's just assumed they're going to be good. It's just assumed that, whoever the next guy is will be pretty good. So I think that you look at a guy like Mac Jones, and he's got such great numbers. I mean, his completion percentages are off the charts. His quarterback rating is, I want to say, historically high for college football. Definitely in the bowl games. I mean, he was just, and I get it. He's throwing to wide open guys. He's playing in one of the most unstoppable offenses in college football. But I don't think that if a guy like that hangs around long enough, you can pass on him if you're the Broncos. And I also think if they really, really like him, which if I'm George Paton, I'm doing my due diligence to see if this kid's the real deal. I mean, he's got the arm, he's got the size, he's just not maybe as athletic as some of the guys, but I mean, he's the Ben Roethlisberger type. I mean, he just seems sturdy, big arm, whatever. I think that they have enough assets that they could move up if they really wanted to get him, because he's not going to be a top 10 guy. And the Broncos have a lot of other things that they could do to kind of move up in the draft from their second-round pick to maybe, it's the Tim Tebow model. I mean, Josh McDaniels wanted Tebow, he moved up and got him.
Here's the deal. I will say, Broncos need to try and get somebody in a QB to compete, because I don't know if George Paton's going to give up on Drew Lock here today. I have a feeling he won't. I don't know. I just have a feeling he won't. As a new GM, say, let's see how Drew Lock is. We got to have somebody to compete because there's nobody. So I don't know if it's Mac Jones, another rookie, or you bring in, I haven't said Jameis Winston. I don't really care, Doug. You got to have somebody to compete.
Yeah, and I would add to that and say you have to have something to sell to a fan base that is getting incredibly restless. I mean, and George Paton has a track record of bringing in veterans and doing, really good things with them relative to who that veteran. I mean, Case Keenum, for example, that was a great situation for him, and it was really probably the last great situation for him. And Kirk Cousins, I mean, the list goes on in Minnesota of guys that have been successful there, kind of, I don't want to say because of George Paton, but he put them in the right situation. But I think that from a franchise standpoint, you have to be able to say, hey, look, we realize that the guy we had last year just got us 5 wins, and we're not sure if he's the guy. So we got to have at least something that
another
as soon
option.
As he has, yeah, when he has one of those 3 picks, no touchdowns, 157 yards passing games, and everybody in Denver is losing their mind, you have to be able to say, you know what, you're right, the standard is higher than that. We're going to give this next guy a shot. Whether that next guy is a veteran or whether it's somebody like a Mac Jones who, in my mind, he's a sneaky quarterback that's coming out in the draft. I mean, I'm not a Pro Football Focus guy. I'm not looking at, all the metrics and all the things, but you look at a guy like that, and he's a winner, and he's got a big arm, and he knows how to compete. I mean, you don't do what you do at Alabama if you're just a guy.
Yeah, interesting thought. It really is. I don't know where the Broncos are going to go at number 9. Some people think, well, defense, but you got a top 10 pick. Sometimes that has to be a really big one. George Payton, the new GM, has a lot of work to do over the next few months. Doug Ottewell in today. Mile High Sports in Denver. Follow him on Twitter at @DOttewell. Doug, always good, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Nate. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Doug Ottewell, Mile High Sports, live from Denver here on the Nate Brown Show on this Monday. We are into the drive at 5 on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Hopefully you didn't have to work too long. You're into your drive at 5. I'm into this story next. We got to discuss this. We'll take more votes on the question of the day about which quarterback you're rooting for. If you haven't sounded off on that, we'll update the poll question of the day. Which quarterback are you rooting for? Not the one who's going to win. The guy that's getting you to cheer for him this weekend and the Super Bowl a couple of weeks away. Who are you rooting for to win Super Bowl 55? Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, or Tom Brady? That's our question of the day. And this story that I want to get into next is about a quarterback. I'm stunned to see what I saw over the weekend about this quarterback. I thought I kind of knew this guy, knew where he was from. He's from right next door, had a great career, and now things coming out, I'm just stunned about it. What do you make of this about a guy that's from right around here? And it's a complete disaster with what's happened with his team. We'll discuss him next.
From high school to college to the pros, this is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapids.
Finally, goodbye 2020. There was one good thing about 2020. That was the prices. And this is your last chance to get last year's prices at Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota. That's 20% off every window and door. Plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Only at Renewal by Anderson. But hurry, because 2020 pricing is only available until February 15th. Book your free estimate today. Call Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota at 605-219-8111.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City. This is the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Black Hills Urgent Care wants you to know they're committed to providing exceptional care for you and your family during this time. Whether it's urgent care or primary care, they offer convenient telemedicine services where you can visit with your provider remotely from your phone or computer. But if you need to come in, their clinics are safe and clean. With 2 locations on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road, open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Black Hills Urgent Care is here to care for this community. To avoid the wait, just schedule online at bhucare.com.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we love the unique ways other countries compliment their chefs. In France, they say magnifique. In Italy, delizioso. And in many parts of the world, it's a compliment to belch. Don't try that at home, kids. But at Pizza Ranch, we keep hearing the same thing over and over again when guests bite into our pizza. Our famous chicken. And all the favorites on our buffet. We're beginning to think you're all trying to tell us something. We'll take that as a compliment. Pizza Ranch.
Hi, it's Colin Coward. Great to be in the Black Hills. Get in the herd weekdays 10 to 1 on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports.
Rapid City Sports Talk Show on a Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, MLK Day. Hope you're doing okay. Thanks for being a part of the program. We're kicking off the week. It's going to be a fun one, man. A lot of great football coming up Sunday. We have high school hoops coming back Friday and Saturday, doubleheader action. Sioux Falls schools coming to town. Roosevelt and O'Gorman coming to play Stevens and Central. We'll get into the action Friday and Saturday. Just getting going here on the Drive at 5 on a Monday. It's a little dicey out there weather-wise in certain areas, so be aware on your drive home. We're going to talk to the Sturgis Athletic Director tonight, Todd Palmer, this hour. I want to have a discussion with Todd, know him well. Sturgis is in a football class. They're going to have to play against Aberdeen, Watertown now. Aberdeen and Watertown, big schools. They got put down to the AA class out of AAA, you know, with the bigger schools. So now Sturgis, sitting here as one of the smaller AA schools, has to play against the big boys, Aberdeen and Watertown, for example. Why is that okay? But the other way around, when they were in there with Rapid City and Sioux Falls, Watertown and Aberdeen, it wasn't okay. I don't get this. We'll talk football classes with Todd Palmer, the Sturgis AD, coming up. Arnie Spanier's on the way next. National host here on Fox Sports Radio. Arnie, live on the way. Question of the day. If you haven't voted, let's get your votes. Which quarterback are you most rooting for to win Super Bowl 55? We're down to 4. Which quarterback are you rooting for? The poll results are just stunning me. They're just stunning me. Not necessarily who's leading. We're kind of bouncing back and forth here. Josh Allen's maintaining the lead. So with my Josh Allen jersey on today, my Wyoming Cowboys support is at a high level for Josh Allen. I've followed his career a long time. We've had him on this show. Josh Allen, 41% of you rooting for Josh Allen. I love it. So he's winning the vote. Just had a couple more votes for Josh Allen on the Barron's Wilson text line. Sound off there, 720-1067, how you text us on the Barron's Wilson text line. Here's the one I'm surprised by. 28% of you voting for Tom Brady. I don't know if is that just the age, 43, great story. He leaves New England, going to Tampa Bay. He can do it there, too. Maybe it's that story. Old guy, staying with it, going to a new organization, the whole thing. I just didn't think Tom Brady was widely loved. Brady's getting 28% of the vote. 17% of you are rooting for Aaron Rodgers. 13% now rooting for Patrick Mahomes. I'm just stunned by that. 13%. That's it. Rooting for Mahomes. Let us know. Speaking of quarterbacks, I want to get into this before we get to Arnie Spanier. First, we'll take a quick call on this. Thanks for getting in. You're live on Fox Sports Rapid City, and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate. How are you?
Hey, how you doing today?
Good.
What's up?
I got a nomination for you for your Who's Hot category tonight.
Oh, here we go.
I'm sure you've heard of Dave Portnoy and Barstool Sports.
Yep.
Great website. And he, several weeks ago, got tired of hearing about all these restaurants and sports bars closing because the government wouldn't give them money, but yet can give millions of dollars to countries all over the world. And so he set up a fund to help bail out.
Yeah, I saw that. Barstool Fund. Yeah.
So I'm
That's
looking
a
at his
great
website
thing.
right now. Yeah, and I don't ask people to do what I didn't do, so I sent in the contribution, but it's up to over $27 million. And our buddy, Mr. Rogers at Green Bay, donated $500,000. And I would challenge all these other greedy athletes with making all the money that always think about themselves to think about some other people that are hurting right now. And, I mean, some of these
I think it's a great
back,
cause. I really do. I'm thinking about our restaurants here. We have a lot of restaurants as sponsors on Fox Sports Rapid City, and I've tried saying, hey, we got to support these guys. And now we've been open, right? But there's been a tough go still. There's waitresses, waiters. They aren't getting the same type of thing. I think it's a great thing the Barstool's doing, funding. They kind of surprise restaurants is what they're doing. Yeah,
and they're helping them from all over the country, from coast to coast. And there's a spot right on the website, barstoolsports.com, where even our local restaurants, or any local small businesses, that are hurting, can apply for funds, and they'll have, if they're approved, they get the money to them in 24 to 72 hours.
Yeah,
it's incredible. And we're up to 191,000 plus donors from across the country.
That's a good nomination for Who's Hot. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, like I said, Aaron Rodgers too. I mean, $500,000. Granted, he makes good money, but how many other athletes have donated $500,000?
No, that's great. It's great. I appreciate it.
I shout out to those two tonight.
Yep, absolutely. Good stuff. All right, appreciate it. No, that's good stuff. Really is. Is that why Aaron Rodgers is getting 17% of our vote of who you're rooting for? By the way, people haven't loved Aaron Rodgers, but that's why it's interesting. I feel like people put Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady kind of in the same category. A little bit smug sometimes, but maybe we don't know the whole story. Are they, that's kind of why. But look at that, Brady getting 28% of our vote. Quick quarterback story, and I don't know if I'm buying this. I can't tell you. I don't like saying people's reporting is wrong because I don't know. I'm not involved on the inside. I don't know this story. But the Philadelphia Eagles have a situation on their hands, and the story coming out over the weekend with Carson Wentz just troubles me a little bit. And the reason I'll say it is there's a lot of reporting here. The Philadelphia Inquirer insider Jeff McLean released an eye-opening story over the weekend. I don't know if you've seen this. He details issues that went on with Carson Wentz and head coach Doug Peterson, who since got fired, and the rest of the team. So you can find that report, read it for yourself. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'll just highlight Philadelphia Inquirer, Jeff McLean, okay? Here's what happened, for example. Peterson would call a play, and then Carson Wentz would kill it sometimes just because he didn't like the play that was called. Okay? That's what the sources say. It just became mano on mano. Peterson call a play. Carson, I don't like that. We're going to do this. Carson Wentz had a bad season. 57% completions, okay? Lowest mark in his career. Second worst completion rate in the NFL. 15 interceptions through 12 games, okay? Here's other things. According to McLean, the writer of the story of the Philadelphia Inquirer, Wentz also was sacked 32 times, and it wasn't because of his offensive line. It was because they analyzed it. Coaches analyzed it. He didn't throw the ball. He didn't throw the ball. Here's what McLean says. Everyone believed Carson Wentz had no clue about when to get the ball out on time, and as a result made his O-line look terrible in times when they were actually playing fine. In quarterback meetings, Carson Wentz reportedly would create excuses to justify his mistakes that he made in games. When coaches showed him what he did wrong on film and offered corrections, Wentz reportedly objected to their ideas. What am I supposed to believe here? Carson Wentz's resistance to coaching, changing plays, not doing things well in the locker room, in practice. That doesn't seem like the Carson Wentz grew up in Bismarck, went to North Dakota State, played for Craig Bowl. It just doesn't seem like the Carson Wentz I felt like we all kind of watched. I don't know the stories. I don't know the personality. Maybe it is a wild card. Maybe we don't know the real Carson Wentz. But it sure looked like, wow, great story, great college career, went in, was lighting things on fire early, had that injury, got overlooked then, and then it was the Nick Foles show and won the Super Bowl, and it just seems odd to me. It just seems odd. And it's a story that we're going to continue to follow here because now the Eagles say we're going to roll with Wentz. That's what it looks like. We're going to roll with Wentz and not necessarily Jalen Hurts. They got a mess on their hands. And the one thing I just can't quite figure out, who is the real Carson Wentz here? He's had a couple of years now where stuff like this has popped up, and then the report of the weekend makes it sound really rough. Really rough. And I'm stunned to see that from, here's a kid who just played his high school ball in Bismarck, all-around athlete, went to North Dakota State and humble, smaller school, made a name for himself. Maybe things did change. It doesn't seem like a player that would get along with my guy Craig Bohl, who I know runs a tight ship up there in North Dakota State and over at Wyoming. Doesn't seem like the quarterback that would do well under Craig Bohl. Maybe things have changed in Philly. That's a wild one. Coming right back with Arnie Spanier tonight, Fox Sports Radio national host. Hear Arnie next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Nate Brown Show and like us on Facebook by searching Fox Sports Rapid City.
Finally, goodbye 2020. There was one good thing about 2020. That was the prices. And this is your last chance to get last year's prices at Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota. That's 20% off every window and door, plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Only at Renewal by Anderson. But hurry, because 2020 pricing is only available until February 15th. Book your free estimate today. Call Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota at 605-219-8111.
Rapid City forecast. Partly cloudy skies tonight with lows around 24. Northwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Highs level off around 40. Tomorrow, mainly clear. Lows dip down to about 23. Tomorrow night, mainly clear skies and quiet. Daytime highs approaching 49. Wednesday, under mainly sunny skies. 41 Thursday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 28.
The New Year sales event is on at Denny Minholt Toyota. We'll make it easy for you to drive a new 2020 Toyota into the new year. Buy any new Toyota Camry or Corolla and make no payments until April 2021. That's no payments until spring. Wait, it gets better. We'll pay for your gas for the year up to $900 with your new Toyota purchase. See Denny Minholt Toyota in Rapid City, exit 60 off East Small Drive, or online at DennyMinholtToyota.com.
We're all going somewhere. Going higher, faster, farther. Going in new directions, to new places. At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. We're dedicated to advanced orthopedic care with the latest innovations, technology, expertise, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Learn more at monument.health/orthopedics.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is Rapid City Sports Talk Show on a busy Monday. I hope you had a nice day today. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, an important day. I hope you did okay. Todd Palmer's coming up. He's the Sturgis Athletic Director. We're going to talk South Dakota high school football classes with Todd Palmer. Sturgis has a tough road now with some teams getting into their class, I'll tell you. He's on the way. Arnie Spanier is one of my favorite hosts on this radio station, Fox Sports Radio. You hear him on the weekends right here. It is Arnie Spanier back on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. It's a triple header of Arnie Spanier. See, he works the weekends, then we pop him on Monday, a Monday night appearance from Arnie. Arnie, thanks for the time. How are you?
Hey, Nate, how's it going, buddy? Hey, do you know the tie-in between the Martin Luther King Jr. speech and sports?
I don't know if I do.
When Martin Luther King was done with the speech was on the dais, the podium, whatever you want to call it. George Raveling, I don't know if you remember him, the old coach at USC, asked the security guard if he'd go up and take the speech. And the security guard said, sure.
Wow.
And Coach Raveling, and I don't even know if he's still alive now, had the speech in his possession. I don't think he had it in his house. Obviously, it was under like a bank security. They say he had it for all this time. They say you can't put a price on it.
Wow.
That it's a one-of-a-kind item.
Wow.
As far as we know, it's the only one. So he had that copy. I'm not saying it was hanging on his house wall or anything like that, but he had the only copy to date. So Google that. See if I'm wondering where it is now. I've got to assume it's in some museum or something, but I don't know if Coach Raveling's around with us anymore.
That's a great story. USC coach, former USC coach, got the Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech. Interesting. Artie, I want to jump into this sports scenario, and we'll get to the AFC Championship, NFC Championship. There's reporting out over the weekend, and this was a guy that we followed closely. We're here in South Dakota, so we followed North Dakota State quarterback Carson Wentz pretty closely. Grew up in Bismarck, North Dakota. Moved there when he was 3. Played high school football, basketball, baseball. Went to North Dakota State. Whoa, big-time pick for the Eagles. Had a great start to his career. And now the Philadelphia Inquirer's Jeff McLean reporting, it's just eye-opening, some of the stuff that's gone on there. A disconnect. He would cancel the play that Doug Peterson would send in. They just didn't like each other. All of the, some other stuff in here. It just doesn't feel right for me. What do you think went down in Philly with Carson Wentz?
Yeah, you're hearing that he was a tough teammate and that, he might have been a little bit difficult. I love when this stuff comes out after the fact. So take it with a grain of salt. Bottom line is, it looks like that Philadelphia may be on the way to be hiring Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. Oh, good hire there. He did so well in Denver. And then I'll take the job in Indianapolis, so I'll change my mind at the last minute. So we'll see how that works out. They'll move on, and they'll go ahead and make Jalen Hurts the starter. But as for Wentz, I think they're going to have to figure out how to rework that contract to get him out of there. Easier said than done. He's going to want the money. I don't know how far they can push it back, but I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express, so I don't know. This is above my pay grade, but I'm sure they'll figure something out. I do know this: he won't be on the Eagles on opening day. That I promise you.
So he's done there. I was wondering. How are they going to do this?
100%. He's done so there. Matter of fact, I'm sure the Patriots would love to have him if it wasn't for that albatross of a contract they have wrapped around his neck. Not to him, he gets the money, but that's quite a contract.
Yeah, interesting.
And how about Goff? Now they say that that was not a hell of a ringing endorsement there too. So there's so many quarterbacks available, it's crazy.
So what would you do? I'm a Broncos fan, Arnie. I grew up a Broncos fan. We got a lot of Broncos fans here in Rapid City. Would you go after and move heaven and earth to get Deshaun Watson, who doesn't want to play for Houston?
What number are the Broncos picking? I don't have it in front of me.
Number 9.
Well, they say Fields is going to drop to number 4, and somehow you can go up there, but Atlanta's not going to trade that pick, and don't want that quarterback pick. You'd have to go up to number 3 with Miami, who would love to probably move on down. So, that's an option there. I'm not moving heaven on earth for Deshaun Watson.
You're not.
I'm probably one of the few. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm one of the few that actually think he's that overrated. I could win 4 games without him. I don't need to get him in. He's been in the playoffs a whole bunch, and so be it. But I'm not giving up 3 first-round picks for this guy. A lot of other quarterbacks I can get. This is a quarterback draft, too. Bad time to be making a stink about where you want to play quarterback when there's a lot of quarterbacks available. Not so much for money, but just a lot available to play. So, no, I'm not moving heaven on earth to go ahead and pick up Deshaun Watson.
Arnie Spanier on tonight. You hear him on the weekends on Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad to have him on the Nate Brown Show this Monday. So let's get into the matchups. Bills, Chiefs. How do you see it going down Sunday with the account that Patrick Mahomes is going to be okay? I'm just taking that into consideration. Mahomes is okay. Josh Allen and the Bills against the Chiefs. How does it break down?
Yeah, we'll assume Mahomes is playing, like you said. First time they played, The Bills made sure they didn't give up the big play. Good running game that Kansas City used to win that game, but they're not blowing anybody out. And when Mahomes went down, it was certainly within a one-score game. I love what Buffalo's doing, though. They didn't look great last week, but let's chalk that up to the win. I mean, there was 4 missed field goals, bad snaps all over the place. So, I mean, are we really going to judge a whole year based on what happened and some bad wind out there? If anybody can give Kansas City a game, it's the Buffalo Bills. It's going to take a defensive effort to win it, though. Allen's going to have to make sure he has that 0. That means no interceptions. Don't worry about how many touchdowns you're going to throw. Win the turnover war and let the defense help you out a little bit. Look, if Kansas City is going to go ahead and score like they did every time when Mahomes was in there, you're cooked. Don't let Mahomes sit back there. If he's going to pick you apart, I'll pick you apart. I'm blitzing. I'm coming with everything in the kitchen sink. If it's going to be a little bit of bad weather, I'm going to move my linebackers up. If you want to do the quick throws, so be it. But I'm coming with everybody. You can't just stand back there and pick me apart while I just do nothing about it.
Are the Bills going to get it done? I mean, you had me for a little bit. My guy Josh Allen from Wyoming, he's a great player. I'm wearing his jersey today in studio. Are the Bills going to get it done?
I think so. I mean, my wife's from Buffalo. Yeah, my wife's from Buffalo. So she's a diehard Bills fan, but that has nothing to do with that. I mean, like I said, the Bills have a dynamic offense. Plus, they've got a good passing game. They've got some good receivers. They're going to have to control the clock. We know that. Can they control it enough? Can they keep Kansas City's offense off the field? You don't have to do it all the time. You just have to come up with a couple of stops on defense. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I mean, when Mahomes was there, it was like touchdown, field goal, touchdown, field goal, and then he got hurt or something. I mean, they didn't have to punt. You can't have that. You just can't have it. If you're going to get beat long, then get beat long. What can you do? But you've got to go ahead and blitz them like crazy.
I'll tell you, that's why I have Arnie Spanier on, the first Buffalo Bills endorsement of the week. The first Bills endorsement. By the way, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Let me just ask, how much credit does Tom Brady get? He's back in the NFC Championship. He's with a different team. I just want to know, how much credit does Brady get for this career?
For this year?
No, for his career. You know, people say Belichick and the system and the whole. I mean, look at this guy.
Heck with Belichick.
Look at this guy.
He gets 100% credit for what he's done. I love that Arians took a shot at Belichick by saying, well, Brady's finally got allowed to coach a team. He wasn't able to coach the team in New England. Zing! Hey, how about that? How about that, Bill? Take it. And by the way, though, even though I love that, who's Bruce Arians to take a shot at Bill Belichick? I mean, if I was Belichick, I'd say, well, you know, all his Super Bowls, I'm sure he's a lot smarter than I am. Matter of fact, Tampa really didn't get going until Arians shut his mouth and stopped picking on Brady and said, you know what, Tom's been there 9 times. Why don't I let him take over and call the plays, and I'll just sit back like some crazy uncle who has good seats to the game. I didn't even know he was a coach. I thought he was just sitting there and had good seats because he was owning the team or something. So, yeah, I give Brady everything in his career and everything what he's done this year. Doesn't mean they'll beat Green Bay, though. I mean, that's going to be obviously tough. Aaron Rodgers at home, bad weather. Brady's used to the bad weather. I don't know if he's got enough in this one, though.
It's just interesting. Brady, I have to give him credit. I'm not a huge Tom Brady fan. I've just liked to root against him because he always won. Not much more reasoning than that. But I say, look at this. Well, he got through an easier Saints team. Drew Brees on the back end of his career is probably done. Some people say, well, this road for Tom Brady's always easy, but it still points to the NFC Championship. I mean, it's unbelievable at 43.
Oh, who cares what kind of road it is? As long as the road ends at the Super Bowl, who cares about that? Think about this. You're a Buccaneers fan, Super Bowl in Tampa, and you can't go to the game. They'll have limited people. Watch and see how they'll reverse that real quick and say, hey, let's get 70,000 in there. What are you saying, people?
I don't know. You may be right. We'll see. I'm going to let you run with this. You think the Packers ultimately get it done, so you're not going to see Tom in Tampa Bay?
No, I'm going with Tampa. I'm going with Tom.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not going against Tom Brady in the NFC Championship game. The bottom line is, look how great that defense looked. if they do that half as well against Rodgers has a tendency to make some mistakes. I think it's a close one. I'm going to go with Brady in the field goal.
I was tracking you. You're saying, they're not going to be able to beat Green Bay. Wait, no. You said you're going with Tom Brady. You're going with Tom Brady in Tampa. By the way, that weather, you know this up there. You're in the Northeast, and you're going to go to Green Bay. Tom's going to get a little cold on Sunday, Arnie. It's going to be chilly up there. He's an old guy. It starts getting to your bones.
Oh, it's a heat wave. It's above 20. So what do you? What do you want? I mean, as long as it's not negative, you're going to be fine. Yeah, he's used to it. His body's thinned out, but he's used to it.
All right, last one for you. March Madness is going to be played in Indianapolis. I mean, we're going to get there. We're just a couple of months away, basically. They're trying to figure out, okay, how should we pick the teams? There was just a report out saying, should they look at having coaches on the selection committee? I think that's crazy. Crazy having coaches on the committee. I mean, they're too biased, Arnie. What's your take? Quick.
You know what? Let's do it. If it gives us something to talk about and something a little bit different outside the box, I'm fine. My Wildcats can't go in. We have self-imposed as sanctions, so I don't care, but I'm fine with it. I like to see that.
I love that. That's why I have him on. Hear him on the weekends. He does a great job. Arnie Spanier, Stinking Genius on Twitter. Fox Sports Radio national host. Always appreciate it, Arnie. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave. Take care, buddy.
All right, appreciate it. Good to get him on. We try and reach out to him. Arnie Spanier, one of our favorites. Just rapid-fire stuff. Fox Sports Radio national host here on the Nate Brown Show tonight. He's going Tampa Bay and the Bills. Arnie's a wild card. I mean, you can kind of tell that, right? Arnie's a wild card. So he's going Tampa Bay and the Bills. I don't feel that one. I think it's Green Bay. So I'll tell you that. I'm going to hold judgment. This Josh Allen jersey's kind of skewing my thoughts here tonight. You know, I just can't quite think straight. So I'm going to hold off on the AFC title game, the AFC championship, making a prediction. But I guess I'll go Green Bay on the NFC. I just think the Packers will get it done at home. And Tampa Bay has been better. They were inconsistent throughout the year. They've been better. Everybody thinks they've figured everything out. I think Green Bay will get that done. I just think the Packers aren't going to lose there in the cold. Aaron Rodgers, the running game, and their defense has played pretty solid. Coming right back with Todd Palmer on this Monday. Todd Palmer's the activities director in Sturgis. Why do I want to talk to him? Well, his football team's going to be playing in a class now that was just voted on with the likes of Watertown and Aberdeen Central. A lot bigger schools, but they're going to have to play in the same division. How does the 7-class system work out for a school like Sturgis? Todd Palmer, the AD for the Scoopers, on the way.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well maintained tire and speed shop, over the top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Honey, would you hand me that chair leg, please?
The one from the mahogany dining room set or the oak chair from the living room set?
Oh, the oak ones. I think they smell better.
Here.
Oh, thank you. Feel that heat.
Honey.
Yeah.
Instead of burning the furniture in our house to stay warm, can't we just get replacement windows?
Honey, we've been through this. Those window companies subcontract the work out, and once they get started, well, good luck seeing them again.
Not if we use Renewal by Anderson. They only do windows, no subcontractors. Plus, they use certified master installers.
All they're going to do is go to a home repair store and pick something off the rack. Heck, I can do that. Oh, hand me that coffee tabletop, please.
No, they have in-home consultations, and they're 100% custom. Plus, they're energy efficient, low maintenance, and we won't have to burn any of our own furniture.
Okay, I'll call in the morning. In the meantime, do you still have that makeup table you had as a kid? I mean,
Not
it's
my
all
makeup
solid
For a
wood.
perfect fit, call 605-341-7831. Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in. Thanks for being here. The Nate Brown Show live on Fox Sports Rapid City. Your sports, your show. If you missed parts of the show, we have an archive a couple of different ways. You can listen to the podcast at your own convenience. It's uploaded each night, foxsportsrapidcity.com. The Nate Brown Show podcast at foxsportsrapidcity.com and the archives. Every guest, every show. Bill Moss joined us, former Kansas City Chiefs D lineman, Pro Bowler for the Chiefs. John Clayton on tonight, NFL Insider with a preview of championship weekend coming up and more. If you missed parts of the show, find the podcast where you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts and Google Play, the Nate Brown Show podcast there. Also, the archive also posted on YouTube. Search Nate Brown Show. You can watch the archive there. Todd Palmer's the activities director for the Sturgis Scoopers. Always good to get him on. Todd, thanks for coming on. How are you?
Hey, doing well, Nate. Thanks for having me on. Long time no talk.
That is right. I know things are busy. Let me just ask you from that standpoint. A lot of things that you have to deal with, and I just, I get the emails, I get all this stuff. Rescheduling this and having to do things. How are you managing it? Has it gone off fairly smooth?
Yeah, I think for the most part, we have not had to reschedule a whole lot of things. This week we had to cancel a trip to Gillette just because of some injuries and things of that nature. But for the most part, the Scoopers are staying healthy, and we've been able to play all of our contests, knock on wood, on schedule. I probably just jinxed myself right there, but we go one day at a time. And like I said before we got on the air, there, long days, short weeks, and before we know it, it'll be the end of February, and we'll be talking about state wrestling and getting into postseason basketball.
Well, I just said I felt like, okay, basketball and wrestling has just started. Well, not necessarily. It's really cranking now. For some reason, we're talking football on January 18th, and I know why. We just voted. The Board of Directors, Activities Association, second reading, made it official for the next 2 years. 7 football classes. That's the same scenario, 7 football classes, but teams got moved around a little bit. Sturgis is sitting 11 AA, same spot you were, but you're going to have to play an Aberdeen Central and a Watertown. What does a football coach like Coach Koletsky and yourself think of some bigger schools coming into that class?
Not to be too cliche-ish, but, iron sharpens iron, and, we had a really good year last year. Coach has done a great job of building our program, and we had some success against some East River schools and just came up short in that first round of the playoffs. But we're trending in an upward direction. We like that. We like that. And having Aberdeen Central and Watertown, they have a lot more kids in their school. But we're willing to strap it up and toe up with them. And I was in Pierre and coached football in Pierre during my teaching years, and wasn't much different when we were in Pierre, as far as the number of kids in comparison to Watertown and Aberdeen, and so we just have to continue to prepare our kids in the weight room, and Coach Koletsky does a great job of preparing them in the summertime, and we'll take our chances when we step on the field with them.
Sturgis in the bottom 4 of enrollment in 11 AA. When you look at the male ADM, that's how they break down for football. Aberdeen Central, Watertown, a lot bigger. They go into that AA class. should we look at anything else besides enrollment, Todd? I don't think I've ever asked you that. People have thrown it around, meaning, well, if you have success, maybe you bump up a little bit on a 2-year cycle. If you don't, maybe you bump down. Are we going to ever look at that, or are we going to stick with enrollment?
Well, if you paid attention to all of the arguments that were being made as to why Aberdeen Central and Watertown are in 11AA, I think that door has been cracked open. To be quite honest with you, I felt sorry a little bit for Rapid City Central, Rapid City Stevens, because the same arguments that Aberdeen Central and Watertown were making could be made by Rapid City Stevens and Rapid City Central. And so I don't know exactly what the correct answer is. I think you really get into a slippery slope if you do that, but I do think, like I said, I think that door's been cracked open, and somebody may just keep pushing it to expand that.
Ultimately, where does it land for a successful football program? Todd, you evaluate your coaches, and you look at it. What makes a successful football program? You do want to win, but you want numbers. You want good roster sizes. You want competitiveness, I would think. How do you spell, okay, at Sturgis, if we have to play Aberdeen Central, are we going to win the state title? Well, maybe, but how do we evaluate success?
I think you hit the nail on the head right there with your roster size, and I think that comes down to your coaches, and it also comes down to their ability to create relationships with the students that are walking around in their hallways, and also with the middle school kids. Coach Koletsky does an outstanding job of doing that. He's recruiting all the time in the hallways, talking to guys. 2 years ago we had 70 kids come out for football. And he's going down to the middle schools, and he's doing a signing day with the middle school football players, because whether they're from Stage Barn or whether they're from Sturgis Williams, we want them to come to Sturgis Brown, and we want them to be scoopers in the end. And we understand that you're always going to have some attrition as the kids go through high school. Everybody finds the level at which they're just not willing to give that type of effort. And so you're going to lose some every year. But the key is having a large group to choose from when they come in as freshmen. And so that's one of the things, I think kids enjoying playing. Of course, nobody likes to get beat, but just knowing that you can go out there and you can be competitive, and that's, again, the coaches putting the kids into positions where they can be successful, and playing teams that you can have success against. We have some great rivalry games that we play within the Black Hills Conference, and so when you get an opportunity to win one of those games, like we did my first year when we beat St. Thomas More, and then having some success against the Spearfish and Belle Fourches of the world, and hopefully really what this new scheduling system could possibly do. It could possibly open us up to playing in the Rushmore Bowl again, which we would really appreciate, and we would take that and just run with it and use that to also help build our program.
There would be a one crossover game when he says AA. AAA teams are going to have to play a AA for the most part because of the uneven number of teams. So there could be a crossover game. That'd be nice if that's at the Rushmore Bowl. Sturgis has been in that over the years, but not for a while. Todd Palmer, I'll let you run on this. Got to be a quick answer, okay? It's the answer everybody wants to know. Is 7 football classes too many, or is that just a bogus argument?
Well, I think what you have is a product of the system working. And I know that a lot of people disagree with having 7 classes, but the membership has voted on it, and that's where we're at right now. I think when you look at the enrollment factors, from top to bottom in each of the classes, you're at about 2% difference. And so I think that is a reasonable difference between the lowest or the last school in each division and the top school in each division, and gives us the best opportunity to be competitive. Whether people think 7 is too many or whether it's not just the right number, like I said, the membership, the ADs, and the schools voted, and the voices were heard, and that's where we're at right now. That I can guarantee you that it's going to be a topic, as you well know, that continues to be talked about. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about it on Martin Luther King Day.
No, that's right. That is right. Sturgis is going to be in 11AA. They don't change, but a couple of teams added from the top class, Aberdeen Central Watertown, and then T area coming up from 11A. So AA got the biggest changeover, in my opinion. Todd Palmer, he's the AD for the Sturgis Scoopers. Always great to have you on, Todd. Thanks a lot.
Really appreciate it, Nate. Happy New Year, and we'll talk soon.
All right, appreciate it. Happy New Year to you. As we get going in 2021, we're all hoping for a better 2021. I feel like it's been better already, right? I kind of, right? Is that, are you with me on that? Who's hot and who's not on a Monday? Okay. 3 great basketball programs make history today. Okay? 3 great basketball programs make history today. It's not good. But the Buffalo Bills make my Who's Hot category, and it's for a reason you probably haven't heard. That's next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, streaming live at FoxSportsRapidCity.com and right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Meet the Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda sales team. They are 5-star rated, just like Honda, and ready to serve you today. Our knowledgeable team will help you get into the perfect Honda model that fits your needs and budget. But we don't stop there. After your purchase, you will be taken care of by our Honda certified technicians who will keep your vehicle running and you safe on the road. Going into 2021, we want to thank you for your business this past year. We know that your vehicle is essential to you, and we will continue our commitment to be open and ready to serve you. From all of us at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda, thank you and keep safe.
If you got hail damage to your vehicle, see the local professionals at 926 Main Street, Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair. They'll bring your vehicle back to pre-hail condition in only a matter of days, and with a lifetime guarantee. They offer free loaner cars and have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Stop by and see a free demo of the quality work they do at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair. Downtown on the corner of West Boulevard and Main, it's Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
On a Monday night, we wrap it up and get ready for tomorrow, right? Win the day. I hope you had a great day today. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, such an important day. One of my favorite quotes I said, what are you doing for others? What are you doing for others? I'll take that with me into tomorrow, the rest of 2021. I hope you do the same. Who's hot and who's not? Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Our friends at the Pizza Ranch have great specials online right now. Had some Pizza Ranch over the weekend. Got to make it a regular occurrence. PizzaRanch.com. 2 locations to pick up or get delivery. Okay? The buffet's open as well. Pizza Ranch North, Pizza Ranch South, and PizzaRanch.com. Support your local Pizza Ranch with some great specials on pizzas. Fried chicken with potato wedges on special tonight. 8-piece chicken, potato wedges, $15.99. Who's hot and who's not? Let's get into it on the Nate Brown Show before I let you run tonight. Who's hot? The Buffalo Bills fan base. Here's what they do, and it's just all grassroots stuff. The Bills fans usually donate to the other star players' favorite charity, even after the Bills win. So here's what's happened. Bills Mafia, as they're called, has donated more than $360,000 to Lamar Jackson's favorite charity, which Lamar's been helping out kids and families who don't have a lot of food right now during the pandemic. It's called Blessin' Backpacks. $360,000 from Bills fans. 13,000 fans have made a donation to Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson's favorite charity. $360,000 total. I love what the Bills fans are doing. Another reason to root for the Bills. In my Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, here it is. college basketball happening now, and it's going to pick up steam now. Okay, football winding down. College basketball is going to pick it up for the first time since 1961. Keep that in mind. 1961, 40. I'm telling you, it's a long time. This is a long time. These guys have been in the top 25, but not anymore. Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina. Wow. That's unbelievable. 60 years? Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, all three not in the top 25 college basketball poll for the first time since 1961. We are back tomorrow at 4 o'clock on the Nate Brown Show. We'll see you then. The Odd Couple, enjoy your Monday.